All right. Phew, excuse me. Holy crap. All right. So today we're going to go over building out custom drip campaigns in OneSuite. And we have Rebecca and Amy with us today. It is Good Friday. So we have a little bit of a lower attendance today. That's okay because some people are out spending time with their family and I get that. So we are going to record this and have this available on the OneBlog should anybody need it. So we're just going to go over a quick overview on how to customize your OneSuite. You should know at this point, but if you don't, there are templates within OneSuite that you can use. However, those templates are not necessarily branded to you as a real estate agent. They're just company branded. Those templates are great for you when you first join Realty One, just to get something out very quickly so that you're continuously touching on your clients. And as you're kind of getting your bearings with OneSuite and how to present those on your own. But if you really want to be able to reach out to and constantly build that rapport with your clients and warm those clients up, it is advisable that you make custom templates in there that are just purely your own. So when we get into our One Login dashboard, this is mine. How you find your OneSuite, if you're using it regularly, it should show up on your tiles here. If not, again, you can go to your apps and then make sure you pull down on everything, and it's going to show you where everything lives. You'll be able to find OneSuite there. Also, if you want a quick and easy way to do it, you just go up to the search bar on any of the pages and just type in OneSuite and it'll pop up right there. You click on the tile and it will log you in. I've logged in my agent OneSuite ahead of time just because I have lots of different roles within OneSuite and it takes me a little longer to get in than it does you. But you just click on that and it's going to pull up your dashboard. So here we are on our dashboard, and we've done other trainings on kind of where everything is. So I'm not going to go into depth about that specifically on this mini training. Today, we're just purely going to focus on drip campaigns and how to do a custom drip campaign. So if you want to go ahead and start working on your drip campaigns, you can go to your left-hand menu here and you click on Drip Campaign Center. And when you click on that, it's going to open up the sub-tabs here: drip campaign letters, drip campaigns, and campaign tags. So for this lesson, we're going to be looking at drip campaign letters and drip campaigns, which are two categories. So when you are working in a CRM, whether it's this CRM or any other one, these two categories are very different. So the very first step is to build out your specific letters. Think about your drip campaign letters or the emails that go out to your clients as a postal letter. So if you are sending a series of letters to somebody, you have to sit down and write each one of those individual letters itself, and then you send them out in different envelopes over a scheduled period of time. The same is true with drip campaigns that are delivered via email. The very first step you have to do is you have to go in and you have to compose the individual letter, which also means email. Drip campaign letters. So this is your very first step. And this is where you're going to find all of the letters that you have personally created as an agent. Up here at the top, there's agent letters, company letters, Spanish letters, scheduled letters, and you can also search for different letters. So if you want some ideas on different letters you can send and you don't really know where to start, you can always go to company letters, and it's going to pull you up everything that both myself and other brokers have shared at Realty One Group for you to take a look at. So these are just some templates that you can use, some inspiration, so to say, to really build out the letters that you want to send. So if I go into Your Dream Home Awaits here and I hit this little eyeball, it's going to give me a preview of what that letter looks like. Now you can copy this letter and make it your own. So let's say if you want to you love this letter and you want to reuse it, you just want to, add your name to it, you want to add your link in the view website, you can do that. All you have to do is copy this, and that's going to make it an agent letter. And then you can edit that and make it your own, whatever your own looks like. So that way you can put your own flair and personality on it. And to do that, all you do is click this little button here, and then you click copy up at the top, and it's going to take a carbon copy of this, and it's going to pull it over your agent letter. And that way you can go in and you can edit that particular template. So, and we've shown you how to do that before. That is on the one blog and roguagent.com. So if you want to relook at that training, you absolutely can. We showed you how to carbon copy and paste our drip campaign and make it your own. But today we're really going to look at doing something fresh, new, 100% your own, that has nothing to do with a company template that we provided to you. We're really going to look at those emails, not so much newsletters, not so much flashy, but like actual emails that really attract somebody to hit reply and respond to that email. So again, if you're having some lack of inspiration, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go into ChatGPT. Now, what most people don't know is that you do not have to have a paid version of ChatGPT to use it. I do have an upgraded version of ChatGPT just because I use it so very often, and I use it with all aspects of my life. But you can have a free version, and you can do up to, I think it's 4 or 5 searches per day on this version of ChatGPT without a paid account. So feel free to go in here and get the account, use it, kind of play with it, and see if it's really valuable in your marketing efforts like it has been in mine. But you can try it before you can drive it before you buy it with this. And it may be, the free version may be enough to get you through until you've really started to become dependent on AI technology like I have, because it is just such a time saver for me. All right, so what would I ask ChatGPT to help me do? I want to build out a real estate drip campaign, excuse my typos, to use in my CRM for the purpose of nurturing cold leads and getting them to respond to my emails. And I am just typing like crazy with errors everywhere. Make this a scheduled drip to be delivered over a 6-month period. I want the emails to seem very organic and personalized to the home buyer, displaying my value as a real estate professional with Realty One Group Ultimate. All right, so let's let ChatGPT do its work here. All right, and as you can see, it is building out a 6-month drip campaign. It is suggesting 2 emails per month to nurture those clients. So it's telling you here, month 1 is all about building trust and connection. Hey, just wanted to say hi. Subject letter is just checking in. Are you still thinking about buying? And then it's giving you the email here. I noticed we connected a while ago, and I just wanted to reach out to say hello. If you're still thinking about buying a home now or in the future, I'd love to help you where I can. One thing I want you to look at is where it says, hi, insert first name. That's important, and I'm going to help you do that. Okay, so we have our email 1. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to OneSuite, and I'm going to go up here to new, and I'm going to name it. And you need to name it something memorable. So I'm going to name it 6-month drip. And then I'm going to do email 1 here. And then I'm going to go back over to ChatGPT, and I am going to copy and paste this subject right in there. All right, and then I'm going to go right into my classic editor, and I am going to take this information here and copy and paste it right into there. Okay, so it's copied it and it's pasted it right there. I'm going to take out where it says your name, And I'm going to go ahead and type in my name here. If I could spell my own name right today. And then where it says first name, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to backspace that out. And then I'm going to go up here and find the variable setting, which I'm using the classic editor and I usually use the modern. So give me just a minute to find where that's at. Where is it at on here? Where's my insert variable? No, I should have hit the other. Should have hit the other one because now I can't find it. All right, so since I can't find it for this lesson, let's go into, and I'm just going to put hello in there for the time being. Oh, here it is. Insert data field. It's down at the bottom now. And I'm going to go ahead and put in first name, insert. So now you can see that it's going to insert the contact's first name regardless of who that is. So even if I'm sending this out to 15 people all at the same time, all of these 15 people are going to have a different first name, obviously. So when it sends out, it's going to send out uniquely to their first name, and the system is going to insert their first name here. Now, there's some other things that you can do in here as well. You can use the IA generated content here within the platform if you want to. I like it, but it does make it a little bit more convenient, I guess, because it's all in one platform. But I do prefer using ChatGPT because I can tell the system to go ahead and book out like 6 months worth of content. And then, you know, it's all in one place. So I can read that and kind of organize my thoughts before making the email template. So I always use ChatGPT just so that, you know, if you want to use AI generated content, you can do that here and just do it email by email. But I suggest before doing your letters that you have a clear course of action of how those emails are going to be sent, what you want them to say before just kind of throwing emails in there with no real purpose or rhythm. Okay. Now, if you want to add something to the bottom of this, you can insert an image down here. You can insert other information in here if you want to. You can put your office name, you can put your office address, you can put your company logo. You can put your information in here. So if you wanted to do your first name, your last name, whatever it is that you want to insert in there, maybe you want to invite them to follow you on Facebook, you can put that in there if that's something that you want to do. So, and that'll insert your agent Facebook URL as long as you have those set up in your profile. Okay, so once I'm good with that, I'm going to go ahead and click this preview button. What's it do? No. Okay, let's do preview. Oh, it's asking me to find somebody. Okay, I'm going to say this one. And that is what it would look like if I sent it to Sarah. Hi, Sarah. I noticed we connected a while ago and I wanted to reach out to say hello. If you're still thinking about buying a home now or in the future, I'd love to help however I can. And then it has my information on there. And it tells them to go onto Facebook to follow me. What I love about this is that you can see that unlike the first template, the first letter that I sent you that looks very corporate, this looks like you just sat down at your computer and you are sending an email directly to that individual. So when they open this, they are not going to know that this is a drip campaign email. This looks like you sat down and wrote it specifically to them. So these types of letters have a higher reply rate than those that look very bright, very corporate. And although it's great to put that stuff in there because you're showing them you are a professional, that you are a great marketer, especially for sellers, like you are marketing yourself, and how you market yourself is a display of how you are going to market them. These types of emails that are sent out that look like they are very specific to that person have a much higher response rate because they almost feel obligated to respond back and be like, hey, Rebecca, thanks for checking in. They may say, I'm waiting a month, or they may say, I did see something the other day, or they may say, hey, it's just not the right time for me. But whatever the response is, at least okay? All right, so we're going to close out of that. And then once you hit OK, it is going to save that back in here. And we're going to save and close. Once you save and close, that template is going to show up right here, and that is a letter. Remember, this isn't an email campaign. This is just a letter. And to be able to build an email campaign, you have to have 2 or more letters to be able to send. So I would go back into this and I would do this again, and I would go to my second email, which is now a good time to buy. I would go ahead and copy that subject line, and we're going to very quickly go ahead and put that in again. So I'm going to go ahead and title this very similar to the first one. And I'm going to put email 2 so that I know just by looking at the title where this goes in my email campaign. This goes back to make sure that you build it before you just throw stuff in here, because once it's thrown in here, you're not going to know what's what. So you need naming this should be very specific and very intentional, or else you're going to drive yourself crazy. Okay. So we're adding the subject line, and then we're going to go into the classic editor. I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to copy it. And then I'm going to go in here and I'm going to paste it. And then again, we're going to go back in here, and I want to add a variable data field. So I'm going to hit the bottom, first name, insert, and then make sure that I'm putting in my information here. And I would like to also add in my telephone number so they know how to contact me. And there we go. There's my next email. When I'm happy with that, I click OK and save and close. And it has recorded it. Okay, now that I have 2 emails in here, we have the 6-month drip here, 6-month email here, emails 1 and 2. Now I have the ability to do a drip campaign. And to do a drip campaign is as simple as going over to your subcategories right here, drip campaigns, clicking new, and then type is going to be by schedule. Okay. Next, I'm going to put in 6-month drip. And for this training purpose, I'm putting test in here just so that I know not to use this, because we're doing this as a test. Okay. And then campaign tags, you can add a new campaign tag. And for this one, I'm putting in test. You can put in cold buyer lead or old buyer lead, or you can put in Zillow lead, or whatever it is you want to do. You tag it however you will be able to remember it. So next I'm going to go in to select the letters. And to do that, I'm going to hit select letter, and then I'm going to browse my letters. And that is going to pull up your campaign letters that we were just working on. And the first one I want to grab is my 6-month email. Okay. And then I want to tell it what day to send on. So I'm going back to my ChatGPT, going back to email 1, and it says send on day 1. So I'm going to put 1 on here. I always keep the importance as normal, and then I save and close. Next, I wanted to send a second letter, and there may be 15 letters in this email campaign, but I'm not going to make you go through all of that on this training because you get the gist. We're going to go to select letter, and then I want to find the second letter that I created, which is email 2. Grab that one, click OK, and I go back to my calendar. And again, it would be on ChatGPT, or maybe it's on something that you wrote down on a notepad, whatever you're doing. And I see that I wanted to intentionally send this on day 14. So I'm sending an email on the very first day that I select to put them on in an email drip. And then 14 days later, it's automatically sending another email. So I'm going to put 14 days. That means 14 days from the first date that you initiated the email trigger in the system. And then I go save and close. Now you can see at the bottom that this email campaign is set up to send email 1 on day 1 to the contact. And then 14 days later, it's going to send another email to the contact without me having to do anything. Once you're good with your order, you hit save and close. Now this drip campaign is in your system, and you can send this out to any of the contacts that you want to. Me personally, I try to set up an email drip that is a short, like 30-day email drip to new leads that are coming into the system. So I have a short window email drip. For the first 30 days, I am just hitting them with emails like crazy. And then once a month, I come back into the system and I'm able to see, okay, I'm working with this client, I'm working with this client. So I'm going to put them more on an informational type of email drip so that they're getting, information that is relevant to them because they are currently searching for a home or currently under contract with a home. And all of these other people who have kind of whittled away over the 30 days, and I really haven't been able to convert, I'm going to put them on a longer term email drip. And my email drips were always a minimum of 6 months, but a lot of times I put those people on a 24-month email drip. And why? Within 24 months, if somebody comes out to you and says, I'm interested in buying a home, and they don't buy, a lot of times it's just because they're not ready. But you know that the thought is there. You know that the need is there either with them now, or the need will be coming sometime in the future. Buyers don't always reach out, or sellers don't always reach out to the agent right when they need it. They start reaching out when they want it. And we know that the difference between a want and a need also balances when they're going to buy and when they have to buy. So you want to be in front of them, not when they just want to, but when they have to, because that's when they're going to pull the trigger. And sometimes it takes buyers a full 24 months before they really have to buy, before they get to the point where it's like, oh, shoot, we should have done this a year ago. And, now is the time. And now we have to hurry up and find something. So you want to make sure that you are in front of them. I can't tell you the number of times that I've had people respond to my email who have been quiet for a year and a half. And then all of a sudden I get a response that says, Christina, we're ready to go ahead and put our house on the market. And by that time, I don't even remember that they're in my lead system, because you still have all of these other leads constantly coming in. This is the perfect way to nurture your leads and to make sure you're front and center with them. Because even if they're not responding to your emails, I promise you they are seeing them. So this is a way for you to kind of pick out who has the need at that time or not. And don't worry about sending too many emails to people. I mean, obviously you don't want, for a 24-month period, you don't want to send emails every single day. I mean, space them out so that you don't become creepy, but don't think of it as like, oh my goodness, I haven't heard from them in 6 months. Like they don't want anything to do with me. If they don't want to hear from you anymore, they will unsubscribe. Every single one of our emails comes with a disclosure on the bottom that says, if you'd like to opt out, unsubscribe. So if they don't want to hear from you, they will unsubscribe, or they will respond back to you and say, can you please unsubscribe me? And then you can take them off that email drip. And even if they do that, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. This is just what sales is. And we should never feel bad reaching back out to somebody who has reached out to us for help. What you don't want to do is forget about somebody who asked for your help, and then you got so busy or distracted with the people who had the need right now that we forgot about the people who have the need in the future and really did want your assistance. They just didn't need your attention in the moment. So, all right. So that is how you set up your drip campaign letters and then put those into a drip campaign. Give me your questions. Anybody have any questions? Or any obstacles that they've seen doing this?
Yes, I do have a question. So you said that there's a disclosure at the bottom of the emails. Like, do we have to add this into these emails, these letters that we're creating, or is it an automatic thing?
It's an automatic. It comes at the bottom. Yeah, it comes through the system.
Okay. And then I had another question. Oh, like I know a lot of times we have to have Realty One, Group Ultimate with it, and the office phone number. But with these letters, do we have to have the office number, or do we just have our phone number?
You can have just your phone number. I mean, it's always great to have the office phone number on there. And I know a lot of agents don't like to do it. So any type of marketing that you're putting out to the mass public does, if you're putting your cell phone number, then it also has to carry the office number.
Right.
And I know that's a very lackadaisy rule. Some people do it, some people don't. You see it all the time. But I always tell everybody, that is the rule. So you should be doing it, just because it only takes one disgruntled or jealous agent from another company to pinch you on it.
Oh yeah.
And you don't want the $1,500 fine. So I would say if it's an individual email going out to people, it's not such a big deal. I do, as a broker, have to tell you to put it on there. But I don't think you're going to have so much issue with it. One thing that I do suggest, the only benefit of putting the office number on there, and we do encounter this a lot, that if you are on an appointment and somebody calls your cell phone number and you don't answer, customers are weird. They will if the office number is not on there, they're going to call somebody else. So if the office number is on there, they're hitting the TCs and they're saying, hey, I'm trying to get a hold of Rebecca. And they say, then the TCs are saying, oh, I'm so sorry. She's with another client right now, but why don't I get your name and number? And I'm going to have her call you back the minute she's done. And then they calm down.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually just had someone who called the office and, you know, even though they saw my sign and my phone number was there, but they called the office number. So still got
They do it all the
them.
time. We get calls all day, every day for clients looking to reach agents, but the TCs are instructed to say, oh, I'm so sorry, they're with another client right now. But let me get your information. I'll have them call you back the minute they're done. And they just like, I don't know what the public thinks. Like the public just thinks that we're out like, you know, I don't know, gallivanting during the day. And like, we have no other clients, no other life, no other things to do. And that you should just pick up the phone. But the minute they hear you're with a client, then they calm down and they're like, oh, okay, great. So, and that's when your TCs reach out to you like, hey, like, because people are just impatient. They want instant gratification a lot of times. So it does help with that because your TCs do have your back, and they will let you know before the client goes somewhere else. Any other questions?
Is there like, so like we have like day one, day whatever, you know, will like, do we have a specific day that we should start those, or like, you know, like just because I know like, okay, today's Friday, so if I started it today, but maybe I should start on a Monday, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, not necessarily. I mean, I like to send my emails in the morning, you know, during the work day. Like, so if I was going to start it, I would start it, you know, during the work day. And I think it's just a matter of preference. Like me, I don't ever start my emails on a Monday because you're coming in from the weekend. Anybody who's in their email, they're bombarded with all of the stuff from over the weekend. So personal rule of thumb, I always like Tuesdays and Thursdays for sending days because Tuesdays and Thursdays seem to be, you know, they've jammed through Monday. Tuesday, they're a little bit more relaxed. I send it in the morning because most people check their email first thing in the morning. That's how they start their day. I'm no exception to that rule. And I think that gets the best results, but Tuesdays and Thursdays seem to be the prime send dates just from my experience. And I don't know why that is. But I never start a campaign or send an important email on a Monday because we just, you know, the open rate is so much lower.
Yeah, because I feel like on a Monday or like if I even like, or first thing in the morning, sometimes I just click through. I'm like, okay, that's not important. That's not important. And I just star things that maybe I need to go back to, but I understand like sometimes you're just like, okay, it's not really that important, so I'm not even going to look at it. So I think the time of day and you know, the day is important.
Yeah. Like I said, I like Tuesdays and Thursdays. So, but I mean, I think you could probably do more research online of you know, case studies and stuff like that. I've just always used my own personal preference. Tuesdays and Thursdays is kind of my start date. It's the same thing when I make calls. Tuesdays and Thursdays are my call dates. When we hold events, you know, especially for agents, if you've noticed the trend, we do them Tuesdays and Thursdays. It just seems to be the day that has the least amount of interruptions, where people have a little bit more time and a little bit more freedom on those days. But yeah, you can have like on these drip campaigns, there's no limit to how many drip campaigns you can have, just so that you guys know. You can have seller ones, you can have buyer ones, and then you can break them down even further. You can have Lawrence County sellers, Mercer County sellers. You could have luxury sellers. You could have investor sellers. With your buyers, you could have, you know, cold lead gen buyers, warm lead gen buyers. You can have second-time home buyers, first-time home buyers. So you can literally build out as many drip campaigns as you want. There is no limit to them. Using ChatGPT, it's very, very easy for you to build out as many letters as possible. You can use different letters in different campaigns too. So with that 6-month drip campaign, if I wanted to steal one of my letters from my buyer prospect one that I have in here, I can duplicate that letter and then move it over to that campaign. So you can reuse letters for different purposes too. So maybe you build out a really great informational buyer letter about the importance of a pre-approval or understanding your cost sheet or getting a home inspection. You can use that letter over and over and over again in different campaigns. So, and you can sign people up to more than one campaign. So they can be on a 6-month drip campaign, and then maybe you're doing a newsletter campaign or a featured listing campaign that you send out once a month to your entire database, which is a really great idea, by the way. You can have people on multiple campaigns at the same time. So they're getting your 6-month drip campaign, and then they're getting your monthly newsletter campaign. And you can build out your newsletters for an entire year. And that is what I used to do. I used to do, like, if I was still, actively prospecting my personal clients at the beginning of the year, so say like November, December of the year previous, I would do a 2025 Christina's newsletter campaign, and I would have a really nice, really colorful, really organized campaign of newsletters that auto-triggered the entire year. So it'd be like January, February, March, April. And we know the seasons. We can already kind of predict what they're going through. So in January, we can talk about, different things around the home that they need to do in January. I can include a recipe for January, something that's, very hearty, like maybe a warm soup or something like that, so I can put those value things in there. And then I go through my whole contact list and just put newsletter for my entire contact list that I've had from all the years before, and they're getting that generated newsletter every month. So those are just some tips you can do. And then each month from there on, as you have your new leads from the month before, you can create sub-newsletter drips. So say in March, you have all of these new leads that come in the system. You just create a new drip campaign that says newsletters April through December 2025, and then you just attach them all to those new leads. And it takes very little time at all, to be honest with you. If you're spending about 3 to 4 hours once a month, just kind of setting up your drip campaigns for your previous leads, they're autopilot. And I know 3 to 4 hours seems like a lot of time, but in retrospect, in a 30-day period, it's really not. And it's really valuable, and it'll really help you increase your business. All right. Anything else? Any other questions? No? All right, guys. Well, if you need me, I am here. I will be here in the office till about 1:30 today, and then I have to leave and do a closing. But if you need me, I'm here. And